Hey guys, what's going on? Drew Danger back here on the scene with the part two to our video, as promised. Um, I wanted to continue and do part one and part two, so we're gonna kind of do that here and see how you guys like it. Representing Team Thundercats. Oh yeah, feeling the 80s a little bit. Representing. So let's get down to it, guys. Um, so continuing on, guys, with our journey in human emotions. Um, what makes people so cold towards each other? What makes them so bitter towards each other where they can leave a young man or a young lady in a position knowing that they need help, knowing that they're in a position to help them, like they've fostered, adopted, whatever, or even their own children? What makes them so cold? I can speak only on my behalf of what I know. And here's what I know. From my perspective, like I said about my father in the last video, he was very cold, in a lot of ways, because of the upbringing he had, and in a lot of ways, that's kind of the thing is upbringings kind of make people act the way that they do. But with that being said, I strongly believe there comes a time where a young man or a young woman must grow, okay, and get to a place where they understand that this is acceptable behavior and this is not. And, speaking of the Thundercats, which is a good comparison, that's the journey Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, has to take. He comes to Third Earth. He's a little kid in a 23-year-old man body because of their life support systems, their cryosleep. He grew. It's a freak occurrence, but he grew. So now he has to learn what life is all about, the decisions, being a man, being a leader, being a warrior, all that stuff like that. But at the end, of the story and going as the years go on, he starts learning, developing, becoming better and better and better and more equipped and more knowledge on this and what this means and what that means, which is what we should all do, correct? I mean, that's the right thing to do. That's how it works. But, what's funny is a lot of people don't do that. They literally stay sometimes in the same place they've been for 20, 40, 50, 60 years. It's kind of a challenge for some people or something. I've been trying to find out what's going on. I've been trying to find out why people are so cold and so disconnected from people, from their own children. And again, in my perspective, like I was saying, people have made a habit. That's where I'm getting to, guys. I don't mean to ramble. People have made a habit of repeating their old ways or their parents' old ways and have carried it with them, right? And brought it into their current situation in their current life, and they haven't shaken it out. So then they bring it to their kids and they bring it to other people and they bring it to, everything in their life. I guess that's the best way of putting it. When I became a parent, I made a promise to myself that I would never, ever act like my parents. And I don't. And I work hard every day not to be them, because the way that they presented themselves was not a proper way. It was a very wrong way. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, I have to kind of, be the parent and kind of be like, hey, you, and, knock that off. And, we got to talk about this. Yeah, you kind of have to do those things. But, it's all about in your approach, because let's just get down to it. Those people are downright just mean people. They're mean-spirited. They're angry. They're bitter. They're sad. They're confused. They don't get what life is about. They don't understand people. They only think that they understand themselves. And what they try to do is they try to take themselves and apply it to everybody. Well, I'm here to tell you guys, for those of you that don't know, you can't do that. You can't take, how would I put it? You can't take yourself, your habits, your things, and apply it to everything. They might fit in certain situations, but they're not the answer for everything. Okay? It's not the answer. So we need to understand, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is this. You must learn human nature. You must learn about the person that you're around, their do's and don'ts, where they came from, and you must walk in their shoes to understand them. You have to sometimes really dig down in the dirt with them to understand where they're coming from and really make it a mission to understand them. Now, this mission is not for everybody, but if you really want to understand human nature and you want to be a better person and you want to grow, you want to be a better husband, a better wife, a better father, a better mother, a better brother, a better son, whatever. This is the journey you must have to walk. There is no other way. I've learned this, the easy way and the hard way. I'm telling you, there is no other way around it. You can't get around it. You have to go straight for the heart every single time, which means you must plunge yourself into danger. Okay? Danger means it might be heart-wrenching. It might be sad. It might be challenging. It might take time out of your day. It might make you tired. It might make you cranky. It might make you sleepy. Okay? But you have to do it. Okay? There's no other way. Like I talked about my foster brother, Raheen. If somebody had invested those things that I just named and took them and said, yeah, I might be tired. I might be cranky. I might be lazy. But guess what? This young man needs me. This young man needs my help. And I'm in a position, and I have put myself in a position to be that strength for him and to teach him as an older person, adoptive parent, foster parent, then it is my duty and my job to make sure that I give 110% of everything I know. And here's the thing too, because people go, well, they did the best they could. The best they could, in my mind, Andrew Danger's interpretation, is they just did everything that they just knew how to do. And I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, that line is old. That line should be banned. That line should be not used. What people should say is, I didn't just do the best with what I could. I went out and I studied and I learned new things, and I learned their behaviors, and I learned their likes and their dislikes, and I learned how they were, and I dug in the dirt with them to understand them better, and I went through those things with them, so then that way I could approach them giving 110% and giving everything that I do and don't have. And that is doing more than your best. That's giving 110%. So people should say, I'm giving 110% because I'm going above and beyond. But people don't want to say they're going above and beyond. They're telling you the truth, which is they did the best of what they could. That really means, that's the other second part of it. It means I didn't do everything. I did the best, which means I tried. Okay? I kind of tried. And it kind of didn't work. But reality is this. I could have done more. I could have said more. And they know that. Because when people say that, you get that, well, they did the best they could answer, which means there's a second part, which means they could have done more to help. They could have done more to do and make sure that everybody is okay. More than okay, that everybody is getting the attention, the education, the fun stuff, the serious stuff, the doctor stuff, whatever they need is being taken care of. Because when you take those parental rights or you choose to get involved at a high level, that's what that means. You are to give a ton, not a ton, but all of your energy, I apologize, all your energy to that. My son gets all my energy, whether if I do or don't have it. There's days where it's rocking. There's days where it's slow. There's days when it's powerful. There's days when it's just nothing. But I'm still out there giving 110% with what I can give. See, that's the gimmick in life, is that you give 110% even when you don't feel well. If 110% is, I don't know, taking the kid to get ice cream and doing something special for them, watching their favorite movie because, you've been working all day, you don't feel that great, you can't go run on the playground as an example, but you could drive them somewhere, get them some ice cream, you could take them to the store, get them a little treat, and you could sit and watch a movie. That's going to mean the world to the kid because you actually are spending time with them. When you're not spending time with them and you're just like, oh, I'm tired, I'm doing my thing, blah, 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 that's taking time away from them. Now, I'm not saying we all get tired and sometimes, but at that time you need your spouse to step in or somebody to step in to give you a hand. That's fine. But my thing is this, when you completely neglect someone that needs help, and the years and the years and the years, even if you're not tired, you just don't want to do it, but you put yourself in a position to help them. Because see, my parents put themselves in that position. They chose to foster him. They chose to let him live at our house. They chose to feed him. They chose to have him there. And when it came time to do the parenting deal and get him on the way, they did the best they could, and they just let him roll out in the world, and then he took his life because they didn't care enough to give their best. Let me change that. To give all they could give, their 110% to him, to ensure in some way that he would come at the world in a better way. Because I'm telling you guys, I can't speak for everything, but I know this for a fact. Had they invested in him the right way, he'd be alive today. And that's what I know. Now, people can challenge that in the comments all they want, but I'm telling you guys, I was there. I knew him. If he had had that love, that connection, that somebody was pulling for him and helping him and showing him, he would have been one of those guys that made it. And that's the sad part. So we lost out on a young man that really, I think, could have done a lot of good things in this world and changed the game. So don't forget, let's try to help each other. This is important, especially during COVID and changes and this and that and Joe Biden and whoever else, let's try to remember to be there for each other, to show that love, to show that patience, to show that respect, to do all we can and look your children in the eyes tomorrow morning and say, hey, you know what? I love you and I'm going to give everything I can to you. I may, be not the best parent. I may not do everything right, but one thing you can count on, at the end of the day, I'm going to always do what's right and make it right. I think we need to start off the end of, 2021 going to 2022 with that attitude. And remember, that we might have to work kind of hard to get there, but it's going to be worth it because you're going to craft a wonderful human being. And when you do that, it's going to do a lot for you, because if you make a not wonderful human being, the price on that is huge, and it forever dominates your destiny, and it forever haunts your life. In the retirement home, you'll be thinking about it, and it will jack you up. Don't be those people. Do life right. Remember what Bruce Lee best said. Underneath the heavens and the sky, we are all the same. We are all brothers and sisters. Let's start acting like it, okay? Drew Danger, representing. And hope you guys have a good week and get to do some cool things. All right. Thundercats out. Team Danger.